So Jupiter is basically the Uniswap of Solana. And I say that meaning that it is the decentralized exchange that's on Solana that is just massive and has honestly grown so much just in the last month because of so many people coming over to Solana. But they did their snapshot early December, and they are launching, I think it's about 1 billion tokens coming up in sometime here in January. We don't have the exact date yet, but they've announced it's coming. So it'll be this month. And I think this is a pretty big deal. So first of all, they're only launching, I think it's 1/5 of all the tokens that they're going to give out to the community. So if you are on Solana, continue to use Jupe when you need to exchange things because they will give more tokens. So this will probably be the biggest one. In terms of what this token is, it's just a governance token, same as like what Uniswap is. But they do have goals to eventually iterate this token to become basically a full currency ecosystem and economy. So like, I would bet they front run Uniswap on adding the fee switch. So Uniswap has continued to be a governance token for 3 years now. Everyone's been waiting for the Uni token to generate revenue from the protocol. They don't want to do it. It's a US company. I don't think Jupiter's a US company. Don't quote me on that. Maybe I can Google that on the show here while we're talking, but pretty sure it's not, which means they would be able to turn on the fee switch. I think that would be a massive narrative if they did that. So fairly bullish there. I think Jupe's going to be a big one. I think it's going to be over $1 billion market cap or FTV when it gets launched. So should be as big or bigger than Jito. The only thing I would say is I don't think people will get $10,000 minimum like all the Jito people got. That's because Jito dropped their token to only 10,000 people or wallets. This is going to, I don't know, tens of thousands, might even be hundreds of thousands. I'm not sure, but it's going to a lot. So I do think the token will do really well. And it's going to be a big airdrop for those that are involved here. So kudos to everyone that is. I don't think that I am. Can't remember, but hopefully we will all get this for other ones. But it's going to be a big deal. It's going to drive the narrative even further. I think airdrops become an even bigger deal as a result of this, just because Jupiter's so big in the Solana ecosystem. So anyway, continue to use Jupiter because they're going to drop more.
A U.S. company, New York.
Oh, it is. Shit. Yeah. Too bad. Oh, New York too? Ooh, okay. Yeah. Then maybe they don't do this. That sucks. Most of the reason I said this, most of the protocols on Solana are actually outside of the US. So anyway, here's what it is.
All right. Next up, keeping in the segment of airdrop updates, let's go over to Dymension. Kai, what's Dymension?
Yeah, so Dymension is another airdrop that was just announced here. And basically it's another part of the tech stack. Think of it similar to like Celestia. It is on Cosmos, so it has its own app chain, just like what Celestia did. But it's another part of the tech stack for blockchain. So a little bit technical, so I'm not going to get in the weeds of it all. But what's really cool is they are doing, I think we'll see this theme more often, is they're doing an airdrop. You can claim it right now for the next, I think there's maybe 16 days left to claim it. And then when it goes live, right now it's not on mainnet beta, or it's not on mainnet. When it does go mainnet, they'll drop all the tokens. But what's cool is the people that can claim this airdrop are anyone using Ethereum L2s. So power users on the L2 front, so if you used Arbitrum, use Optimism, etc., you are likely eligible to get DIM tokens or DIME. I'm not sure what that is, DYM, whatever that would be. And so you would get those tokens. Anyone who's used various different protocols on Solana, I think Jupiter was one of them and a few others. So if you have a Solana address, go and check the claim and see if you can get it. Anyone who's used Celestia staking, anyone who's used Osmosis, so these are all different chains. Anyone who's used Cosmos. So there's 7 different chains, and you have to do certain things on these chains, but that are all eligible for this airdrop. So really cool to see these cross-chain airdrops. Celestia did this. So Celestia airdropped to people who were using Ethereum as well as Cosmos. And so these guys are doing the same, but they're kind of going more broad to a bigger, different demographic. And so I just think that that's really interesting. Dymension is legit, so I think they're going to have a fairly decent size price, but not sure. I don't think it'll be Celestia size, but it should be pretty good. But again, this is just most people couldn't have guessed this was going to happen, especially if you're on a chain that has nothing to do with this. But it does pay to be playing around and doing things on chain, especially right now because there's just so many airdrops coming. And so the more that you test out, the more that you play around with and do, the more chance you have to get airdrops, because these guys are all airdrop because they want users, right? They want people to know this is marketing for them. And it's also helped to fund people to build on their tech. And so how do they find these people? Well, they find it from wallets that are doing things on chain. And so if you do things, you get lucky, but it's not really lucky if you just do it because you know you're going to get something. So anyway, pretty cool to see this. I think Dymension is going to be a good one. I think they're still a couple months away from dropping their token, but they've already done their snapshot, so you can claim it today. The link will be in the show notes for you. It's genesis.dymension.xyz. Don't click on any other links that are not that exact URL. But that's how it's going to work. All right, next, we've got one more. This one's kind of interesting. This is LFG. This is the guy that got rugged. So LFG is, what does it stand for? I can't even read what that's
Less,
there, but it's less effing gas.
gas.
Right? Yeah, so this is like a vampire attack on Ethereum, which is kind of hilarious. So this is a Solana token, a Solana company that is airdropping tokens to Ethereum users. In order to claim the tokens, you need to get a Solana wallet and claim it on Solana. So if you want your money and you're an Ethereum user, you got to go over to Solana, which is like a vampire attack to like bring and bridge people over, which is quite interesting. Now, this is a token for people who have guzzled and used a lot of gas on Ethereum. So they're looking at bringing the whales over from Ethereum to Solana. Now, this is not a big airdrop. It's not there's some big protocol or company or anything. It's just a marketing stunt by who? I have no idea. The Solana founders were big on retweeting this. Like maybe it was actually them doing this to like drive some traffic over. I'm not sure. But anyway, this is competition. So we love that. And we love it even more if competition means we get free money. But anyway, you can click on the link, which is, and watch, there's tons of fake ones on this. Click on their Twitter profile and it's in there. That's where I would recommend you do it, is on the Twitter profile for LFG, which they are lessfn gas is their Twitter handle, which it's lessfnandgas.org. It's .org. There's a bunch of .coms out there. Be careful. So anyway.
Sorry, less fees and gas.
Oh, sorry.
.org.
Less fees and gas.org. Good. And so honestly, if you haven't done a lot on Ethereum, you're not going to get much here. So like, I wouldn't even worry about this. Like, I didn't even claim it because I don't pay a lot of gas fees because I moved everything to L2s. So my wallets don't accumulate. Like there's people that have spent hundreds of thousands, like Zeneca, who comes on our podcast a lot. He was in the hundreds of thousands he spent on gas fees. So he got a bunch of LFG, but he got like hundreds of dollars worth of this airdrop. So not a ton versus spending hundreds of thousands, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is another one. The key here is just like, there's going to be so many, whether it's the decentralized protocols or it's just marketing, like be ready because there's so many, but be very, very, very careful because this is the guy that lost 200K. He clicked on a wrong link because in the comments of this announcement tweet was a fake URL. And unfortunately, people click on that. So anyway, lots going on in this airdrop. So it pays to be a user on chain.
We got even one more coming at you here. And this is one that came over the break. It actually came right before Christmas, but we didn't get this in because we didn't record a roll-up last week. So we want to make sure you guys are up to speed. So this is Frame. Frame is a new Ethereum L2 that is focused on NFTs. It's an NFT-centric L2 that is aiming to be the creator L2 by using a new protocol that they have built that is going to enforce royalties. It's called Pallet Protocol. And I don't know the technical details of how it enforces royalties, but basically their claim is that they're going to build this L2 that is focused on enforcing royalties at the layer, the network level, which would then, if this can work, this could be the choice for creators to launch NFT collections, particularly artists and those that are looking to profit off of royalties, which, as we said from the beginning, was such a great opportunity of blockchain to put money back into the original artist's hands. Now, when you look at this project, it's a who's who of backers. They are backed by who's involved in this. I got Luca Nets, 9gag CEO, Ray, Whale, Loopify, Dingaling. I think that Electric Capital. I love how you're laughing at these names. I'm giggling.
Whale, like this.
I know. Electric Capital was the initial fundraiser behind their first round that they just closed in December. So you've got a big team of advisors behind you, which is another reason why they got a lot of attention. So they're not in mainnet yet. You can go to their website. Let me get the link for you here. I believe it is frame.xyz, but I will confirm here. Yeah, it's frame.xyz. And you can see if you're eligible, you can claim tokens now. You won't be able to spend them or use them. You won't get them yet. You'll just enter the claiming. And basically anybody who has traded an NFT on Ethereum and paid royalties, this is the key. You won't get any credit for NFTs or you didn't pay royalties.
Based on the amount of royalties you've paid. So like
Exactly.
volume, and then did you actually decide to pay those royalties? I love that. That's great.
Which is great, right? So they're gonna
Them finding their target market, right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
These are the people that would get loud and support them because like I believe in this. I pay royalties myself. I want to support a. Is this a layer 2? Is that what you said? This is a layer 2, or is this a protocol?
ETH layer 2.
Yeah, that's cool. See, I mean, Immutable does this, right? Like Immutable allows for enforcing royalties at the protocol level, right? So Ethereum does not have royalties at the protocol level. Neither does like Solana, et cetera. None of these do. And so as an app, you can't enforce them. But when you change the protocol layer, which is a layer 2, for example, an app that goes on top of that layer 2, you control as you make that layer 2, whatever functionalities you want. Just like Blast and Manta have made it that if you hold any ETH or any stable coin on their layer 2, it automatically generates yield because it automatically swaps it into staked ETH and then your USDC into whatever. And so I think it's MUSD. And so it auto makes there be yield for whatever stablecoin and ETH that you hold. So the same is true with L2. With these L2s, is you can also make it where it auto enforces royalties, and it's just part of the layer that you're building your app on top of. And this is the one thing that's really cool about layer 2s, that the monolithic choice of building a blockchain, like so what Solana's doing, it just doesn't have this expressivity that L2s can do, because each L2 can be completely different. Immutable can have 0 gas fees and enforce royalties. Frame can keep gas fees but enforce royalties. Manta and Blast can have gas fees but enforce yield. Like you can do all these things depending on what ecosystem you want to have underneath. And so I think L2s just are going to have this incredible innovation that people are not quite wrapping their head around yet. Even I haven't, because this is just royalties and yield. There's probably going to be so much more that you can bake into the protocol layer of a layer 2. And I'm just, I mean, already it's basically been a month. Well, when did Blast launch? A month and a half ago. And so a month and a half ago, we saw our first yield baked into the protocol. Now we're seeing royalties baked into the protocol. Like what else happens? That's what makes me so excited about L2s. It's just going to be, it's really, really cool to see this. And then because it's backed by so many big people, especially in the NFT space, I can see this being really cool.
This connects back to one of your predictions for 2024 and the L2 narrative continuing to grow, which I completely agree with, even though right now it's not getting much attention at all. Solana has taken over the airwaves.
Yeah. I mean, the tokens have done really well in the last couple of days, the week. So Arbitrum, Optimism have been crushing it. So it's coming. Price drives narrative, right? So the price goes up a little bit more, and all of a sudden, all eyes are on L2s. And that's what I think happens as this EIP 4844 goes live, which if you want more of an explanation of what I think happens here, check out my episode from yesterday.